Mr. Adeyemi, I need you to stay calm. The sterile smell of antiseptic filled the private hospital room, but nothing could cleanse the weight of the words hanging in the air. Jide Adeyemi, a man who had built an empire from the ground up, sat frozen in his hospital bed, gripping the crisp white sheets. Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Terminal. 6 months at most. Dr. Chibuzo's voice was steady, but the words pierced like a dagger. Jide's hands clenched into fists. "That's impossible," he muttered. "I feel fine. There must be a mistake." Dr. Chibuzo sighed, adjusting his glasses. "We ran the test twice. I'm sorry, Jide, but it's best you start preparing." Jide's mind raced. At 55, he had everything: wealth, power, respect, but no heir, no one to carry on the Adeyemi legacy. His business empire, his fortune, everything he built would be swallowed by greedy relatives and opportunists. There must be something you can do. You can manage the pain, make you comfortable. "I don't want comfort," Jide roared, slamming his fist on the bed. "I want a cure." The doctor remained silent. Jide's breath came in short gasps. For the first time in decades, he felt powerless. Bisi wiped her hands on her apron as she set a tray of freshly squeezed juice on the dining table. She had worked for Jide Adeyemi for 8 years, and never once had she seen him like this. His usual commanding presence was absent. Instead, he sat in his massive leather armchair, staring into space, his fingers tapping restlessly on the wooden armrest. "Sir, are you okay?" Bisi asked softly. Jide snapped out of his trance and looked at her. His face was pale, his eyes clouded with something she had never seen before: fear. "Do I look okay, Bisi?" he said bitterly. "I just got back from the hospital, and they told me I have 6 months to live." Bisi gasped, her hands flying to her mouth. "No, that can't be true. You are so strong, so full of life." "Apparently, cancer doesn't care how strong I am," he muttered. He let out a long, shaky breath and leaned forward, rubbing his temples. Bisi hesitated before stepping closer. "Sir, I am sorry. Is there anything I can do?" Jide looked up at her, his eyes searching hers. He was a man who never begged, never asked for help, but now he was desperate. "Yes, Bisi, there is something you can do for me." She frowned. "Anything, sir. Just say the word." He swallowed hard. "I need an heir, Bisi. Someone to carry on my name, my legacy." He paused, his voice shaking. "And I want you to give me that child." Bisi's breath hitched. The room felt smaller, the air heavier. "What?" she whispered, her heart pounding. Jide leaned forward, his eyes locked on hers. "I want you to have my baby." Bisi took a step back, her heart pounding in her chest. The words hung in the air, thick and suffocating. "Sir, what did you just say?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. Jide exhaled deeply, rubbing his forehead. "I need you to bear my child, Bisi. I know this sounds sudden, crazy even, but I don't have time. 6 months, that's all the doctors gave me. I can't die without an heir." Bisi shook her head, trying to press his words. Sir, I don't understand. Why me? Because you are the only person I trust, Jide said, his voice firm. You have been in this house for 8 years. You've never once betrayed me, never stolen from me, never leaked my secret to the media. I know you are kind, patient, and hardworking. I need someone like that to be the mother of my child. Bisi's breathing was uneven. Sir, I am a virgin. Jide blinked. You are? She nodded, her hands trembling. I have never been with a man before. How can you ask me to do this? For the first time, hesitation flickered across Jide's face. He hadn't expected this. Bisi, I know this is a lot to take in, but think about it. I will take care of you for the rest of your life. You and the child will never lack anything. I'm not asking you to love me. I just need an heir. Bisi felt dizzy. She had grown up in a strict home where purity was sacred. Giving herself to a man like this under such circumstances felt unimaginable. Sir, I don't know if I can do this. Jide's eyes darkened with desperation. Please, Bisi, I am begging you. The words sent a shiver down her spine. Jide Adayemi, a man who had never begged for anything, was pleading with her. But could she do it? Could she give up everything she had believed in for a dying man's wish? Days passed, but the tension in the mansion only grew thicker. Jide had never been a man to repeat himself, but every time Bisi walked into the room, he would find a way to bring up his request. At first, she avoided him, finding reasons to stay busy. She scrubbed the floors longer than necessary, rearranged the bookshelves twice, and even took extra time washing dishes. But no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't escape the weight of his words. Then one evening, as the sun cast a golden glow over the grand living room, she found Jide sitting in the dark, his head in his hands. He looked defeated. Sir, she called hesitantly. He looked up, his face more tired than she had ever seen him. I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable, Bisi, he said quietly. I just don't know what else to do. Bisi's heart ached. She had spent years in this house watching him command boardrooms, make ruthless business deals, and intimidate the wealthiest men in the country. Now he was just a man facing death alone and afraid. She took a deep breath. If I say yes, what happens next? Jide sat up, hope flickering in his eyes. I will make sure you are taken care of. I will put everything in writing. You and the child will inherit everything. You won't have to worry about anything ever again. Bisi swallowed hard. She had never thought about being a mother, especially not like this. But Jide was dying and desperate. And despite his wealth and power, he had no one else. She exhaled slowly, her heart pounding. Okay, sir, I will do it. Jide's eyes widened. You will? She nodded hesitantly. Yes, I will have your child. For the first time in weeks, Jide smiled, but deep inside Bisi wondered. Had she just made the biggest mistake of her life? Months passed. Bisi, now heavily pregnant, stood by Jide's bedside as he grew weaker, despite his declining health. A light remained in his eyes whenever he touched her belly, whispering to the unborn child. The day came sooner than expected. Bisi cried out in pain, and Jide, weak but determined, held her hand, and the doctor delivered their son. He's here, the doctor announced, placing the newborn in Jide's trembling hands. Tears streamed down his face. My son, he whispered. Bisi, we did it. Busy, exhausted but smiling, nodded. You made it, Jide. For days, Jide held his son, cherishing every moment. Then one evening, as Busy returned from the kitchen, she found him sitting still in his chair, their baby nestled in his arms. Jide, she whispered, stepping closer. No response. Her breath hitched as she reached out, touching his face. His skin was cold. A sob tore from her throat. No, no, Jide, please. Their baby whimpered softly, obvious to the grief in the room. Even in death, Jide had kept his promises. He had held his child, just as he has wished. Busy wiped her tears and lifted their son from his father's embrace. I'll take care of him, Jide, she whispered. I promise. As she looked into her child's eyes, she saw Jide's legacy living on, and she knew his love would never fade. Wow, what a wonderful story. Alright guys, this is the end of the story. I really hope you enjoyed this story. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel, turn on your post notification buttons so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. Click on the like button to give this video a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends and your families. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section. Bye for now, and I'll see you in my next video.